Super Bowl 57 is just days away, and it would be remiss of me if I did not end the season with one more preview of the big game from Glendale, Arizona. The Chiefs and Eagles will do battle for the Vince Lombardi Trophy. The 57th edition of the Super Bowl is just days away. I got my preview and predictions coming to you right now on the Flex Zone Podcast, only place giving you sports how you want it, when you need it. It's time for the unofficial, official holiday for people all over the world, football, sports fans, non-sports fans alike, the Super Bowl, which we should get the day off after, by the way, at least the teams in the city. Fun fact for your local government jurisdictions. But let's get to the game itself. A lot of storylines. I'm going to run through some just off the top of my head. You got the Kelsey Bowl. Jason Kelsey, the center of the Eagles. Travis Kelsey, the all-time great tight end, possibly the greatest tight end ever on the Chiefs. First ever quarterback meeting in the Super Bowl between two black quarterbacks. What a way to begin Black History Month. LeBron last week, Super Bowl this weekend. Patrick Mahomes, MVP, Super Bowl MVP. Jalen Hurts on the rise, a guy with winning pedigree and showing a trajectory into the elite category of quarterbacks in the NFL. Number one rush team in the NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles. Looking to be the first team to lead the league in rushing to win a Super Bowl in a number of years. It's been a while. Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts, one of them will be MVP. Last time an MVP won the Super Bowl was 1999, Kurt Warner. Got the number one pass offense in the Chiefs. Number one pass defense in the Eagles. Darius Slayway and those boys back there. You got the offensive line of the Eagles, which is dominant with Kelsey, with Dickerson, with Johnson, against Chris Jones, who's a man amongst boys and has been one of the best defensive players and is in the running for Defensive Player of the Year and had a great game in the AFC Championship game, has had a coming out party in the playoffs in which he hasn't had any sacks. Andy Reid coaching against his former team. Nick Sirianni, who was not fired but didn't get retained by Andy Reid, now coaching the Philadelphia Eagles. He's in the Coach of the Year conversation. A lot of great storylines heading into the Super Bowl. A lot of great things to keep an eye on. What will you be looking forward to? What are your initial thoughts? Some think the Eagles could run away with this game. Is Patrick Mahomes 100%? Are the receivers of the Chiefs look like most of them are going to play? Looks like Mahomes is going to have a good amount of his horses in the stable. Jalen Hurts, can he continue and in high pressure situations make the throws when the running game isn't there in those tight windows to A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Goddard? Miles Sanders has had over 1,000 yards this season. Very good year for him. The former backup at Penn State too, Saquon Barkley. What happens with the Chiefs' defense, the secondary? Can they hold up? Can Chris Jones, Frank Clark create enough pressure? Can Orlando Brown and his Chiefs' offensive line, Creed Murphy, those guys hold up against the Eagles, who had one of the best sack seasons in NFL history, over 70 sacks? Does this give Patrick Mahomes flashbacks to the Super Bowl against Tampa, where he was coming in with a foot injury and running around like a chicken with his head cut off, running for his life with the pressure of the Tampa Bay defense? I don't know, but we shall see. Let's get to the keys. I'm going to start with the Eagles because I don't want to be before you too long. Sign off in the comments. Let me know your prediction for the game. Are you betting on the game? As sports betting is pretty much legal in most places now, going to be one of the biggest bet days of the year. Are you excited for the halftime show with Rihanna, Fenty Beauty, Miss Fenty Beauty herself, performing in Arizona? Who's the special guest? Who the surprises? National anthem? What goes on with all that prop bets? But let's get to the keys for each team. I'm going to start with the Eagles, and they have not had to play from behind a lot this season. So my question is, as I do pull up the keys to the game here, with the Eagles, I think it's important for them to win time of possession, control the clock, keep Patrick Mahomes next to Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy, and everybody on the Chiefs sideline. Don't let him be on the field. You limit his possessions, you limit his effectiveness and his ability to beat you, because the game isn't over against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs until it's triple zeros on the clock. They got to win time possession. Next, the interior offensive line, Dickerson, Kelsey, those boys, they have to dominate the defensive line of the Chiefs, Frank Clark, Chris Jones, as I mentioned. If the Eagles' interior offensive line, especially running that football, which leads me to my next key, if they rush for over 150 yards, Sanders is getting his 100 yards. Hurts is hitting you for 20, 30, 40, 50 yards here. If they rush for over 150 yards and that interior offensive line is dominating the defensive line and they're winning time possession, it could be a long day for the Chiefs. Next, for the Eagles, control touchdowns in the red zone. They got to score, touchdowns in the red zone. The Chiefs are going to put up their points. Mahomes is going to do what he does. You got to get over the 24, 25-point threshold to put Mahomes where you need to be. Even if your defense is getting pressure and helping you out, he's still going to get his. So you got to score touchdowns in the red zone. They have been the best rush team in the red zone, getting the most rushing touchdowns in a number of years. For the Chiefs, got to protect Mahomes. I mentioned it, over 70 sacks. Let him stand back there in the pocket. He's not 100%. I don't care what he says. That's an injury that takes time to heal. Give him time in the pocket. Let him go through his progressions. Give him 4 or 5 seconds. He'll shred, I think, potentially this Eagles defense. No turnovers. Mahomes has to make plays, has to carry his team to victory, I think. Mahomes can't turn the ball over. Chiefs receivers, Chiefs running backs, no fumbles. Hold on to the football. I think Mahomes will do his job. You got to do yours and help your teammate out. Next, I think Travis Kelce, the best tight end ever, is going to have to show up. He's going to have over 100 yards for them to win this game. 5 catches for 100 yards, 7 catches for 120 yards, a touchdown here maybe. That would help them out. Even if he's not hurting them in the red zone with 2 or 3 touchdowns, if he can catch 7 balls, 8 balls for 120, 140 yards, he's converting third downs. I think that would be very, very huge for the Chiefs. Last but not least, on their defensive side, Chris Jones got to wreak havoc. Can he get 2, 3, 4 sacks? Can he get 5 or 6 pressures on Jalen Hurts? Can he stop the run game, clog up some of those runs by Miles Sanders and Jalen Hurts, keeping those 5 and 6 yard gains to 2 and 3 yard gains? Can he get after Jalen Hurts, as I mentioned? Maybe a strip sack, force some fumbles, bat some balls down. What is Chris Jones' outlook going to be? And I'll put Frank Clark in that as well. If they can sack Hurts 5 or more times, which is easier said than done, I think they'll have a good shot of helping their team stay in this game and get a win. Now, as far as my prediction for this game, I do think it could be either way. I think if the Eagles win, I think the Eagles have a good chance to potentially win by double digits. But I think if the Chiefs win, it's going to be a close nip and tuck game, which we all want. Now, I do think that the Eagles have the better team, the better roster, but I think the Chiefs have the better players in Patrick Mahomes, an all-time great, and Travis Kelce, an all-time great. The Eagles don't have any all-time greats per se at the skill position. Hurts still coming of age. Sanders, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Jason Kelce inside is an all-time great at center, but he does not affect the football game at a skill position. Now, I did pick the Eagles before the season to make the Super Bowl but lose to the Chargers, so I was 1 for 2 on Super Bowl teams, but I do have the Chiefs' all-time great players, Mahomes and Kelce, and also the all-time great coach and Andy Reid. So you got an all-time great coach, Andy Reid, all-time great quarterback in Patrick Mahomes, all-time great skill position player, tight end in Travis Kelce, who plays like a wide receiver. I'm taking the Chiefs over the Eagles 27-24. I think Mahomes leads a game-winning drive. Harrison Butker, game-winning field goal. Chiefs 27, Eagles 24. I think the teams cover, and I think the Chiefs cover the spread if you're betting. Give me the Chiefs 27-24. Patrick Mahomes throws for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns and is your MVP. Chris Jones with 2 sacks and about 3 or 4 pressures. But I think Jalen Hurts doesn't play bad, but I think he makes that one costly turnover, that one costly interception that he has not made all season. And I think that will effectively hurt them. I think Steve Spagnuolo needs to get a lot of credit, a lot of love for what he's been able to do defensively with the Chiefs, a lot of young players. And he has a track record with the Giants doing great things in big-time games in the playoffs, especially in the Super Bowl against guys like Tom Brady. So I think he will bring pressure, create different looks for Jalen Hurts that he may not be accustomed to or may struggle with. They will pressure these receivers on the outside, not give them free release. They will tackle well. And I think they will, like I said, with Chris Jones, Frank Clark, create ways to get pressure with them and other guys to try to keep Hurts from making plays with his legs as well. Chiefs 27, Eagles 24. Sound off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts for the Super Bowl. What are you looking forward to seeing? Are you looking forward to the betting aspect? Are you looking forward to the halftime? Are you looking forward to the festivities, the fellowship, good food, libations, all those things? Let me know. Give me a score prediction. Give me a key to the game. Fly. Will it be Fly Eagles Fly? Will we be repping the Chiefs Kingdom? But don't forget, we will be live after the Super Bowl here on the Flex Zone Podcast. Only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. Super Bowl 57 post-game show after the game. Hit the bell, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Help us out and let me know your keys to the game, predictions, MVPs, wild cards, X Factors, anything like that. Isaiah Pacheco and Jarrett McKinnon probably my X Factors for the Chiefs. And I'm going to go with Devontae Smith and probably Miles Sanders as my X Factors for the Eagles. God's favorite host signing off. Chiefs 27, Eagles 24. Let me know your prediction and scores down below. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you after the Super Bowl here on the Flex Zone Podcast. Only place giving you sports how you want it, when you need it. Peace.